All right, so we're gonna get started with our Nearpod account now. It's super easy. All we need to do is go to nearpod.com and then come down here and choose sign up for free. Make sure you're signing up as a teacher. And when you choose this button, it's going to give you the option to sign in using a Google account. So that's what I'm going to choose to do here. I'm going to choose sign up with Google. And this makes signing up really, really quick. It'll show you the Google accounts that you already have on your computer, and you can choose your school account. And you just have to agree to a few things here. You just have to agree that you are 13 years or older. And it's also going to ask what your role at the school is. So you can just choose that as well. And that's it. Now you have a Nearpod account, which is fantastic, okay? And so what we're going to do now is we're going to set up some settings that are really important for your lessons. So what you need to do is you need to come up here to your profile picture and then choose lesson settings. And there are two options that we need to turn on today. The first one is enable student names to autofill, and I'm going to turn that on so that when your student completes the Nearpod task, you'll know automatically which student it is. And then I'm also going to scroll down and I am going to enable the Collaborate board for student-paced lessons. I'm going to turn this one on. And what this does is it will allow your students to post on the Collaborate board if it's not a live lesson, if it's a student-paced lesson, okay? And that's it. That's all you have to do to set up your Nearpod.
So let's get started to create our Nearpod lesson. For the purpose of this video, I'm going to create a lesson that has a news round video, a book for my children to read, and a collaborative board. So I'm going to click on Create and then choose Lessons. Now here's my lesson. I'm going to click on Untitled Lesson in order to give it a title. Now I'm going to start by adding my news round video. So I'm going to choose Add Slide, and you can see two tabs, either Content or Activities. Content is for things that children are going to watch or read, whereas Activities is for things that children are going to interact with. My news round is going to be a web content, so I'm going to choose Add Web Content. Now I need the URL of my website where the news round video is. So I've found the news round video, which is here. I'm going to click on the URL, copy it, and then back to my Nearpod lesson, I'm going to click and paste it. Now I'm going to save, and it will create one slide for the children to see and open the news round page. Now, if we have a look at preview, we can see what it looks like for children. And you can see that children are going to see a slide, and they have a blue button right in the middle that says click here to open web page. So when they click, the web page is going to pop up in a new window. They can watch the video, close the window, and keep on interacting with our Nearpod lesson. Now I've got my news round, I want my book. Now my book is saved on my computer as a PDF file. So I'm going to choose Upload Files. Now I can upload an image from Google, or I've got different options here as well. I can choose select local file, which means that my file is saved on my computer. I can upload it from the Drive, the Dropbox, or the OneDrive. Because it's saved on my computer, I'm going to click on the first one, choose my file, open. Now I've got two different options to upload. Because it's a PDF, I can choose to create a PDF viewer, which means that Nearpod will create one slide for the whole PDF, and the children will have to scroll down in order to see all of its pages. Or I can choose individual slides. That means that Nearpod is going to create one slide for each page of my PDF. So because it's a lot easier for children to interact with individual slides, this is the option I'm going to choose. So I'm going to click on individual slides, and it will take a bit of time for Nearpod to create all of the slides. the longer the PDF, the longer it will be for Nearpod to create it. So we might want to have a quick break, although it doesn't take more than 2 or 3 minutes. Now here you can see that PDF was successfully added, but I can't see the slides yet because Nearpod is still processing the file. So I'm going to give it a few seconds or a few minutes, and then once the slides are all there, we can keep going. Now, here are my slides. Nearpod has just created them. So now I can keep editing my lesson. Now, something that's quite handy is that I can turn these slides into a draw it, which means that I can then add things onto my slide. So for example, I could choose this first one and decide that I might want to read out the title to my children, or I might want to add something at the top that explains what they're going to read about, or that explains that I want them to read the book and interact with the collaborative board. So if I want to interact with those slides, I'm going to click on the slides I want to interact with and click on Convert to Draw It. Now it's going to ask me if I want to keep a copy of the original slide. So that means, do I want to have one that is as it is now and another one with my changes, or just the one I changed? For now, I just want the one I changed. So I'm going to click no, I don't want to keep a copy of the original slide. Now you can see my slide says draw it, so it's now converted and I can interact with that slide. So I'm going to double click it in order to open it. And now you can see at the top, I can add certain things in it. So I might want to add instructions. So I might want to say, read the book and add a comment on our collaborative board. I might want to also explain what the book is about, or I can add images, audios, or other media. Audios can be quite helpful if you're adding a book for children in EYFS or Key Stage 1 that might not be able to read the book. You might then want to add audios of you reading the story, if that's something that you want to do. Once I've finished, I'm going to click on Save, and my slide will now have this added on top of it. As you can see, I now have instructions at the top of my slide. Now, if in your PDF there are some pages that you thought weren't really useful or you can do without, you can also click on them and choose Delete Slide in order to delete those pages. Now, I've got my news round and my book. I will now add my collaborative board. So I'm going to click on Add Slide, Activities, Collaborative Board. I've got different styles I can choose from. I'm going to choose the first one. I can add a picture to my collaborative board. So for example, if I'm talking about a book for a book club, we might want to add the picture of the book cover, for example. I can add a topic, so I might call it book club, and I might in the description ask the children a question to direct their comments. So for example, because my book is about a dinosaur trying to cheer up his friends, I could say, what can you do to cheer up your friends? Now, once I'm happy with my collaborative board, I'm going to click on Save. Now that will create one more slide at the bottom of my lesson, at the end of my lesson, but I can always change the order of my slides by clicking and dragging them where I want them to be. Now, obviously, my collaborative board, I wanted it at the end, so I'm going to put it back at the end of my lesson. Now, my lesson is now ready, so I'm going to click on Save and Exit. And now I will come back to my page, to my Nearpod page, and now you can see it is now saving my lesson.
Hi everyone. So now it is time for us to share our lesson with our students. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hover my mouse over my example lesson here. And you'll see right away I get a few different options for how to share this lesson. So you'll notice that the first two are for live lessons, okay? So these are good if you are having a Google Hangout with your class and you want to guide them through the lesson. However, today we are going to choose a student-paced lesson. This is something that you can post to your Google Classroom and the children can access anytime throughout the day and guide themselves through the lesson. So this is what we're going to choose. And once we click on that, we get some options for sharing our lesson here, okay? So I like to choose the link, and I like to copy the link here, and now I can paste it into my classroom. However, before I do this, I need to change one of the settings on my collaboration board. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to choose View Progress. And this is going to show me how much the students have already done on my Nearpod lesson, and that's great. But what I really want to do is I want to navigate over to my collaboration board because there is an important setting that I need to change on it. It says this slide is a collaboration board. And then it asks me if I want to approve student comments before they are posted. I definitely want to choose yes, but before I do that, I want to tick off apply this for the rest of the session. So this means anytime a child comes onto this collaboration board, I will be able to moderate what they are saying, and I have to approve their comment before it gets posted to the collaboration board. So I'm going to tick off this box and then choose yes. And now student comments have to be approved by me before they can be added to our collaboration board. Now, remember, I copied that link earlier. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to come over to my Google Classroom, and I'm going to share it on the stream for my children to access. There we go. I want you to have a go at doing that, and then in a moment, we will show you how to approve the comments on your collaboration board. Okay, now let's take a look at how to approve comments that students have posted to our collaboration board. We're going to choose our lesson here and choose Student Paced again. This is going to show me all the active lessons that I have happening. Right now, I have only launched this one lesson. So I'm going to click on it and then choose View Progress. This first page is going to show me the list of students that have engaged with the lesson. So I can see that right now I've only got one student that has engaged. I'm going to navigate through the slides until I reach my collaboration board. To approve comments, I need to come up to this icon here. I can see that I have 2 new comments that need to be approved. So I'm going to click here and then take a look at the comments. These stars here mean that the student's name is hidden. To show the student names, just come down here and select this button. And then we can open up our comments for approval again. So I'm looking at this comment here, and this child says, I used brilliant adjectives during my English lesson. So that's a wonderful comment for my collaboration board on what the children did well today. So I am going to approve that comment by using this green tick mark here. Now, sometimes you'll get students that are offering some comments that are not quite school appropriate. So I can see that this one isn't quite right, and I don't want to add that to my collaboration board. So I'm going to choose this red X here instead. Right now, I can see that my student names are shown on the posts. If I don't want them to be shown and I want this to be an anonymous board, I can come down here and select Hide Student Names again. And now the other children won't be able to see who has posted this comment. You'll notice that there's a little heart down here. Children and teachers can choose this to like a comment, like you would on social media. This shows support for someone's idea. If for some reason you have approved a comment that you didn't mean to, you can delete it from the collaboration board by using this little trash can up here. I can see that this card was deleted, but the children won't be able to see that. And if I want to restore it, I just click the little refresh button. Okay, everyone, there's one final step we need to complete in order to be able to save the children's responses as evidence. Now, you might have noticed that these Nearpod sessions are only active for 30 days. After that, the responses that the children have made disappear. So here's what we need to do to be able to save them. After all of your children have responded to the lesson, what we're going to do is come up here to reports. And this is going to show you a report for every lesson that you've ever created. So I'm going to come and choose my example lesson. And then I'm going to choose the session that I want. Now I've only got this session active, so that's the one I'm choosing. And now I'm going to come over and choose the section that says Collaborate Board. Then click on the question, and then choose this top link that says View Only. Now I've got a view-only version of everything that my children have said on my Collaborate board. What you need to do is come up here to the URL, click on it, and then you can press Control-C on your keyboard or right-click and choose Copy. And now you can paste this link into another document or a spreadsheet in order to save it for later. So I like to just save mine in a Google Doc with the date and the title of the lesson so that I have that link saved for later and I can go back and take a look at it in the future. So I've opened up my Google Doc here, and all I'm going to do is write the date, and then I'm going to right-click and choose Paste or use Control-V on my keyboard to paste that link. And now I can save it forever.